So the Packers are coming off the most exciting win of the season, beating the Cowboys 31-28 in overtime, and I've been enjoying this past few days. But now we have the opportunity to win back-to-back games here at Lambeau Field. Tomorrow we will be facing off against the Tennessee Titans. Thursday Night Football with the Packers having the opportunity to be sitting at 5-6 after just a few games ago being 3-6. So there's lots to be hopeful for right now, especially when we look at the way the Packers beat the Cowboys. The ability to put up 30 points now seems available with Christian Watson turning up, scoring 3 touchdowns, absolutely obliterating the Dallas Cowboys secondary. And now we have an opportunity to do it once again against the Tennessee Titans. When we look at this game against the Titans, there are a few different things when we compare it to the Cowboys game. When we look at the Cowboys defense, they were one of the best defenses in the NFL. Their one weakness was their running defense. They're probably in the bottom third in the NFL when it comes to running defense. And the Packers were able to exploit that, running the ball for over 200 yards, averaging a little over 5 yards per carry, which really set up the passing game for the Packers. And they had the highest percent of play-action passes of their passes for the entire season. 40% of our passing plays were play-action passes. So because we had the ability in that game to consistently run the ball, the Cowboys really couldn't do anything to stop it. It set up those big passing plays, 2 of which were touchdowns. And now looking at this Tennessee Titans team, they're a little bit differently. They have different strengths. The Cowboys' strength was their passing defense overall. The Packers, with their ability to run the ball, sort of made them focus on the run, and when they didn't expect it, Packers come in, have huge passing plays, and are able to win the game. Now the Titans defense, so the 8th best scoring defense in the NFL, but they're pretty much the opposite of the Cowboys. They have the 2nd best rushing defense in the NFL. Cowboys have the 29th ranked rushing defense, and they have the 31st ranked passing defense in the NFL. So against the Cowboys, the Packers were able to, the foundation of the Packers offense was the running game. You would assume the Packers plan to do that once again here against the Tennessee Titans. The only potential issue, is the fact that the Titans have been very strong against the run this year. So if the Packers start this game, start running the ball, and things don't go well, they may have to pivot to the passing game, where if the Titans know the Packers are going to have to be passing the ball, it gives that pass rush the ability to just sit back and rush the quarterback. And they have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL, pass rush units. They have the 3rd best pass rush unit when you look at sacks per game. And so if the Packers aren't able to get their running game going and they have to rely on the pass, there could be some issues there when it comes to stopping that pass rush. But when we do look at the Cowboys game, the Packers were able to keep Aaron Rodgers safe. He didn't throw the ball too many times in that game, but we only allowed, I believe, 5 pressures overall and 2 sacks. So the Packers' offensive line did a very good job. David Bakhtiari was able to stay in the whole game, so was healthy the whole game, and the line did a pretty good job. So the big thing here is on Thursday, can the Packers get the running game going? You would assume they'll try to, and they could have the ability to exploit this defense, but the Titans' rushing defense has been very good. When we look at their passing defense, though, 31st ranked passing defense in the NFL, and last week we finally saw the Packers' passing offense start to click, a majority of it coming in the play-action game. But the biggest bright spot, of course, was Christian Watson, and I think to see his ascent last week, to see him going from suffering multiple injuries through training camp, through the first half of the season, to then come in and start the game with 2 drops, and then have a massive touchdown, and then to finish with 2 more. His confidence is through the roof right now, which is only going to lead, I think, to him continuing to have success here. Rodgers clearly trusts him even more now. And so with the Titans defense struggling, a big amount against the pass, I see no reason why the Packers can't exploit that here with Christian Watson. His speed, we saw just how dominant he can be when he gets going and he has the confidence, because he can just blow past everybody. So I assume we'll see some Christian Watson here on Thursday, and hopefully he can get a few more touchdowns. 3 will be nice once again. That's a high limit to set, but it's possible. We'll see what Christian Watson can do. And Randall Cobb may potentially return this game. He was designated to return off of the IR a couple of days ago, so there is a possibility of Randall Cobb potentially being able to play in this game. So even if the Packers' run game isn't able to get going, I do think the Packers will be able to exploit this very, very weak Titans passing defense. And we saw the Packers O-line hold up pretty nicely last week against a really talented Cowboys pass rush unit as well. So looking to the other side of the ball, last week, one of the biggest reasons the Packers were able to win that game, there are clearly multiple things, one of which being the Christian Watson breaking out in that game. We wouldn't have won without that. But the Packers forcing turnovers in the passing game. Rudy Ford with 2 interceptions in the first half. Without those interceptions, the Packers probably don't get close to winning that game. If you guys remember, it was 7-0. Aaron Rodgers fumbles the ball. The Cowboys take over and are 15, 20 yards away from scoring. If they score, it puts them up 14-0. Instead, Rudy Ford picks it off, and the Packers are able to stay in that game right there. So we'll see if the Packers can continue to force turnovers, because when we force turnovers, obviously our chances of winning go way up. The Packers also had a few turnovers last week, which hurt us as well, but we fought the entire game. So it was nice to see Rudy Ford come in, play safety. With Eric Stokes out, we had Rasul Douglas kick back to the outside, with Darnell Savage coming in, playing a lot of slot, as well as Rudy Ford coming in at safety. And I think with what we saw from Rudy Ford at safety this past week, I see no reason why the Packers wouldn't put him in there again, with his ability to track the ball and, pick Dak Prescott off. It's great to see, a backup come in there and play just as well as he did. So right now, the Packers defense overall for the season, we've been the 16th ranked scoring defense in the NFL. So not the best, not the worst, pretty much in the middle overall. The one area we have struggled consistently has been against the run. We're the 26th ranked rushing defense in the NFL, but we are the 3rd best pass defense in the NFL. So the area teams have been able to exploit us consistently has been on the ground. The Cowboys were able to do that last week. They ran the ball 31 times for 159 yards, averaging 5.1 yards per carry. And as we all know, the Titans, the center of the entire Titans team is Derrick Henry, who right now is the 2nd best running back in the NFL when it comes to rush yards, only behind Saquon Barkley. So considering the Packers have a very weak run defense, considering they haven't been able to, stop a ton of teams from being able to run the ball, you'd assume the Titans' plan is come in, feed Derrick Henry, feed Derrick Henry, feed Derrick Henry, as it typically is, and I see no reason why it will be different this week. So it's going to be a tough task for sure for the Packers to stop Derrick Henry, considering they've struggled with many different running backs this year, but hopefully they can somehow, keep him in check enough to allow this Packers defense to hold up just enough. And then if we look at the Titans' passing attack, they're the 31st ranked passing offense in the NFL. So they have not been able to push the ball down the field. Ryan Tannehill has missed a few games with Malik Willis coming in there, filling in for him. But considering last week the Packers showed us that they have that ability to force turnovers, I feel like we get, interception here on Ryan Tannehill in this game. So it's going to be a tough task to stop Derrick Henry, but hopefully we can do just enough. But my overall feel of this game, I think coming off the win on Sunday against the Cowboys, a game the Packers really desperately needed to win. If we had lost that game, we'd be sitting here at 3-7, and it would be very, very difficult to get out of that hole. But now sitting at 4-6, I think that coming off the win, with the confidence building, with the losing streak over, Christian Watson breaking out, the defense forcing turnovers, the Packers being able to win a big game at home in overtime, I think that the confidence is higher than it's been this entire season. And considering we're coming in tomorrow, only, 4 or 5 days after the win against the Cowboys, at home once again, the fans are going to be fired up there at Lambeau Field. I just really think the Packers are going to win this game because of we sort of got ourselves on the ascent right now with that win against the Cowboys. And I think we come in here with that confidence and beat the Tennessee Titans at home at Lambeau Field, which will then put us at 5-6, heading to face off against the Philadelphia Eagles, which could put us at 6-6 if we're able to beat them there, which I think is possible as well. So my score prediction for this game is Packers 34, Titans 24. The Packers haven't really consistently put up a ton of points this season, but last week we saw them put up 30, for the first time this season. And I think we're going to see it once again. Aaron Rodgers is confident. Christian Watson is confident. This offense knows that they have the ability to put up points when they need to, and I think we're going to continue it partly because we're at Lambeau Field, and I feel like the energy is just going to be there to pull off another victory, which will then put us in a very, very nice position. But feel free to comment your score prediction in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, do you want to see more Packers content, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. That's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.